Good morning, everyone. Oh, not morning where you're at? That's okay, because you can have eggs for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Welcome to episode 38 of Three Eggs Are Better Than One. I am Brad Stanton, along with fellow eggs Matt M. and Brian Haremza. We want to thank everyone for the positive feedback from last week. It was great to get things going again. I was really not hungry ever again after hearing that episode. But there is some somber news this week, but we're going to start with the good news first. Sunny side up is what we call it. So, Matt, what is your good news of the week?
Struggling to unmute myself here. Good news is, did you guys know that at the San Diego Comic-Con last week, they announced the theatrical release date for Coyote versus Acme?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
I even saw some of the screen. I even saw some of the screen grabs they had
Yeah.
for from there as well. Yeah.
So Will Forte was there to announce it. Um, of course, this is the Warner Brothers abandoned project that Ketchup Entertainment purchased and will release for a global theatrical widespread release on August 28th, 2026. So about 13 months from now. So about 13 months and and 2 months after that, when it comes on streaming, there will be a special eggs episode. You've heard it here first.
I mean, I would imagine we're going to get invited to the premiere.
It's because of us it's getting released. Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny. Cartoon versions of us
Yeah.
interacting with the humans.
I mean, it'll be me probably sitting next to John Cena, and then of course Bryant right next to John Cena,
Oh God,
The Coyote, and then Madam.
no. Yep.
So that's my good news.
That is good news. We're excited. It's only a short 13 months away. I'm counting down the minutes. My sunny side up is, believe it or not, I actually feel very old about this because well, I am old, right, guys? On as this airs tomorrow, my daughter turns 21 years old. She's not a drinker, at least not that I can see. She might have some a little bit, but I don't really know what she gets involved with. But she is going to have a drink tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to go to the hibachi, and for since she was 3 years old, which is now going to be 18 years, she has watched me drink zombies. Now, zombies are a very, very strong drink, so she's only allowed one of those, and she wants something else, fine. But she's been watching me drink those for 18 years, heard me talk about them, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to hibachi. She's gonna bring her boyfriend. Lotus will be there. Everybody will be there, but Frank, unfortunately. Even so my wife will be there. Even her mom and her mom's boyfriend will be there as well. So we're gonna make it a big event for her 21st. So very excited for that.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
that's great.
fantastic.
Great. That's awesome. Congratulations on that. It's a big one.
Just think, Matt, in a short
14
11,
years.
14 years, you'll be right there. It's almost as
Well,
close as Coyote versus Acme.
Yeah.
So you reminded me of this. I've always been kind of into beer, craft beer, much more a decade ago, and especially before I had a child. Um, but when he was born, I bought a special beer from 2017, the year of his birth, and it was called like I honestly I forget exactly what it was called because it was 7 years ago, but it's something along the lines of Vintage 2017 Ale. And the idea was I was going to buy it from the year he was born, and it's meant to be aged. And then on his 21st birthday, we're going to drink it together.
Wow, that's a
So
good idea. It's a big. You're talking about playing the long game.
that's, yeah, it's like a time capsule.
Hmm.
Very
That's
cool.
kind of interesting there.
Yeah.
All right, Bryant, what do you got for us?
So for my sunny side up, I'm going to talk about. I'm going to go attend my first ever music festival. Going to be going to a place in god awful Iowa, but it's called Hinterland. Never heard of it before, but it is a music festival out there. The My wife loves one of the acts, and so what decided to look into concerts. And for some reason, they're going to Iowa, which I feel sorry for them. But it's a music festival at Hinterland, and just a huge lineup. They're basically having 8 concerts a day. over the weekend. So tons of music going on, listening to a bunch of different acts. There are some people I do know out there, so it will be a little interesting. The headliners on Friday, the headliner Friday is Tyler the Creator. Saturday is Casey Musgrave, and then Sunday, the reason we're going, Sue loves Lana Del Rey, so we're gonna go see Lana Del Rey as the main event Sunday. So gonna go listen to music and figure out if music festivals are something I will enjoy.
I love them.
I've heard of those acts. I don't know. I have definitely heard of them all. I do not know their music. Is it going to be mega hot?
No, thank God. So the heat wave is this week, and then basically starting Friday, which is the start of the event, it's like 75 is the high.
Oh,
So
lucky you.
so not too
104 I
bad.
heard it of.
Yeah.
What's the overnight situation? Is this a camping situation?
So you get two options. You can camp and pay to camp, or you can pay $20 and shuttle from Des Moines. And so I chose the shuttle option so I could stay in a hotel. Because then I could stay in a hotel and relax and not worry about it.
So how far do you have to, what's the distance though?
Oh, it's like 30 minutes.
The shuttle's 30 minutes?
Yeah.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah, but camping sucks way worse.
Camping is
God,
way worse,
gotta be
man.
What a waste of time.
Why would I want to camp?
I feel
And,
itchy just thinking about
yeah,
camp.
like
I don't want to camp.
I'm not gonna camp. Because then at the same time, if I'm camping, then I gotta pay for breakfast. I gotta find breakfast. I gotta eat breakfast out there. No,
Yeah.
I have a hotel. I can go to McDonald's. If not, I can eat at the hotel. I don't have to be there the whole day. If I don't want to see some of these acts in the morning, guess what? Sleep in. Go later in the afternoon. Not too bad.
Please don't take offense to this because I mean it in the most positive way. But I've seen your wife's pictures, Sue's pictures on Facebook, and I don't see her as a camper.
She's not. No, that's another reason. We tried to go camping one time early on in our relationship, and a thunderstorm hit and blew the tent away, and we just took that as a hey, we're never going to camp.
Yeah, you're indoor folk.
Yeah, she seems like the type that likes to dress up, do herself up a little bit, and I just can't see that getting bit by mosquitoes and waking up with dew on your face. Not interested.
Nope. Especially you said it yourself right there. She loves putting on makeup, so alone for that. That's why we need a hotel room. Spread all of her makeup out, take her time, get ready, and we're not sitting in a tent trying to pull all that off.
This Sue likewise. Okay.
Yeah.
One final remark. Haven't you said to us before that you have worked at music festivals?
No, so we have Nebraska Land Days. There's concerts, but
I thought
it's
you
a
did.
concert. I mean,
you want to talk about grown-ups being mentioned too much on this show? Nebraska Land Days.
there it is.
They have surpassed it.
Yeah.
That's like third. That's like the
I
third
mean,
highest.
it's not a festival. It's literally a rodeo and two concerts. That's not like a whole weekend of music.
Well, it was mentioned an awful lot for as little as you're making it out to be now.
This is true. I'm trying to get all of you to come to my event next year. So,
oh, it's so good. So good.
All right. So hard-boiled, I got two things. One is that when I've noticed this over the last, I guess, 5 to 10 years on social media, that a father, maybe my age or maybe 10 years younger or 5 years older, is with a couple of his maybe teenage daughters, and everybody is giving the middle finger for the picture. When did this nonsense start? That everybody is flicking off the camera and thinking this is cool. This isn't cool. And I know I'm going to offend a few friends out there that probably are doing this, but I mean, how about we class this up a little bit, huh? How about we put the little middle fingers out and maybe we just smile for the camera? Do we have to does the middle finger even a thing? Didn't Friends teach us a long time ago that we're supposed to go like this or even like this? The middle finger, we're still doing this? Does anybody actually give somebody the middle finger anymore if they're really angry with them? Or now is it just a fashion statement? Hey, everybody. And your tongue's out too, right? Your tongue's out too. Duck face this, middle finger's that. Enough already. Class up the joint.
I think it's probably reserved for driving, road rage situations.
Which I have much of, as you can imagine. The second, I wouldn't exactly call this a hard-boiled. It was just a minor observation that turned into something more. Bryant, if you would please put up the picture that I sent you yesterday.
oh, I cannot wait for this.
So here we have alcohol-free, the new look, Crest Pro Health Clean Mint. 99% germ free. As you can see, there is a price on this, or if you can't see, for those of you at home that aren't watching, of $12. Now, just to give you a little bit of an idea what the setting is here. My buddy and I went out to lunch yesterday, and there is this store next to it. Now, in this store is a lot of, it's a surplus store. It also has packages in there, like unopened UPS packages, unopened Walmart packages that you could pay $1 to $5 for, depending on the package, and you don't know what's in it, which I think is kind of cool. So, you maybe as like some kind of party, you would do something like that, and everybody gets the package, something like that. You don't know what it is. Cool, right? Well, this is in the store though. This $12 bottle of Crest mouthwash. So I'm looking at it. So I decided to look it up while I'm there. I Google everything into my phone, and I look, and it's everywhere. It's CVS. It's all the stores. At Walmart. It's somewhere between $5 and $7. Okay. So I said, I bring it up to the counter because now I'm curious because I need to know. I go, is this for a whole case of this? Is for $12? And she says, no, I believe it's just for the one. I go, do you understand that this is not an item that is special to this place, that you could get this in the store for half the price? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Who's paying $12 for this, and why is it labeled this way? I cannot believe this is happening. And I understand the cashier, maybe that's working that day, doesn't know what's going on, but who thought this? Who's buying this for $12? What's in this bottle? I need to know what's in this bottle. Is there something more in this bottle? Is there actually alcohol in it? Is it a lie? Is something crooked in the Crest sign? Is this like a one in a million Crest bottle? No. It's just mouthwash. $12 mouthwash that you could get at any store for $5 to $7. Hard boiled.
All right, I have some comments. First of all, actually, would you mind putting the photo back up?
Oh, okay. Yes, of course. Of course we can. Yep.
Couple things. First of all, I know maybe you're just listening, but is it possible that whoever wrote the price on there was extremely sloppy? And the 1 and the 12 is really supposed to be another slash through the dollar sign, and it's really supposed to be $2.
He went to the counter and got it confirmed, though.
No, no, that is not what happened.
I'll tell you what, that is beyond sloppy, Madam. First off, nobody in this world puts 3 slashes through an S and makes
Nobody
it a
does.
money sign. It is 1, and now this is for some reason 2. You're telling me 3 and almost a centimeter over?
I'll tell you what, though, if it is $2, I'm going to drive over there and grab that.
It is not $2. It is 12 for not the case.
Yeah. My second comment is also in view is Mommy's Bliss gripe water. What a fucking sham that is.
And it's $10, by the way.
I remember that. You're supposed to give this to your kid when, when an infant, when they're cranky. BS. And my last comment is, thank you, I'm done with the photo. My last comment is, what is a surplus store? I've never.
Well, it's just so it has stuff in there that I like Big Lots. You know how Big Lots has too much of something, and they're a name brand you maybe don't know anymore. Maybe something they're trying to get rid of. Well, this is the next level of that. Okay, like there's gaming chairs in there that are reasonably priced that you probably can't get anymore. Tables, like off-brand items that you can buy cheap, except for apparently mouthwash is at a premium.
So, but why would you go in there? Like,
okay, so it's kind of like got this. It's like I told you before. He brought me in there the first time. Well, I didn't tell you that before, but he brought me in there the first time when we went the first time, and I saw all those packages that are unopened, and that just intrigued me. And I remember talking about this, I believe, on the Kickout crew, that I thought this would be a fun game that you buy about 10 of these packages for almost nothing, $60. Everybody, you kind of give them out and see what everybody gets. And there are people that take this very seriously there because they're going through it and like they said they found this, they found that, they found something more valuable. I don't believe about the value. I think these people know what's in these packages. Maybe not. That it's not of a great value. I don't think there's anybody finding like 33 grand in any of these things, but maybe just something neat and just something to laugh at a party. But I still have not pulled a trigger on one purchase in the store, and I've now been there twice.
Yeah, and I think I even asked you that on the Kickout crew of how many boxes have you bought, and you still have it.
Still none. And it's been a year. It's been well over a year.
I got to get you to buy one.
Maybe by the time you're on your third podcast show, Your third visit there, you'll pull the trigger.
So, guys, I was going to talk to you a little bit about this before we started recording, but I was having internet issues. I was wondering if you're okay with us doing the expired eggs now.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, as most of you know, because this is going to air on Monday, well after all this happened, and we did have a graphic last week because it happened after we recorded. Um, the great immortal Hulk Hogan passed away at 71 years old. Um, uh, we can't quite put into words how much he meant to us and to wrestling. Um, but just to give a little background here, back in the early 80s, my father was in the room with me, and there was no remote control at the time. And we were flipping through the channels a little bit just by with our hand, and came across, which I didn't know what it was. It was like maybe 82, 81. I was 5, 6 years old. And my dad said, "No, no, turn that off. It's fake. You don't want to watch that. That's fake." So immediately I was intrigued. Okay. So from that point forward, I looked for that program. And in 1983, Hulk Hogan joined the WWF. And January 23rd of 1984, the great Hulk Hogan beat the evil Iron Sheik, and Hulkamania was born. Um, Say your prayers, eat your vitamins, do your training. WrestleMania 2, WrestleMania 1, he joined forces with Mr. T, and they beat Rowdy Roddy Piper and Mr. Wonderful. WrestleMania 2, which some would say is the greatest of WrestleManias, and perhaps one of the greatest matches of all time, Hulk Hogan beat the beast, King Kong Bundy, in a steel cage match that, from what I hear from David Meltzer, has 7 stars. And it's the only 7-star match that is outside of the Tokyo Dome. In WrestleMania 3, Hulk Hogan did the unthinkable by body slamming Andre the Giant, who had not lost a match in 15 years. He also joined forces with Macho Man and was part of the Mega Powers. He won the Royal Rumble twice. At WrestleMania 9, he unexpectedly won the championship without even being programmed in the match, which is absolutely incredible. In 1994, our beloved Hulk Hogan left the WWF and went to WCW, where he eventually joined the NWO, becoming a bad guy, Hollywood Hogan, and also a multi-time champ. He eventually would rejoin a WWE and also in TNA. Hulk Hogan brought wrestling mainstream. He was in movies like Rocky III, No Holds Barred, Suburban Commando, and who can forget him in Gremlins 2. Even if you weren't a fan of Hulk Hogan, you knew who he was. He was bigger than the sport. He is the Babe Ruth of wrestling. He is the Michael Jordan of wrestling. He is the Wayne Gretzky of wrestling. He is the Tom Brady of wrestling. I'm just kidding. Besides my father, who I at the time I wouldn't have said this, but I would say it now. He is my first hero. And when in second grade, I wrote a paper about him, clipped out an article out of the newspaper, and wrote a paper about him as my hero. When I was very young, I also received LJ an action figure of him, and also Iron Sheik, and I brought it with me wherever I went. I actually even got a second one. Very rarely does a celebrity, someone I've never met, have an effect like this man did when he died on me. And I'm really gonna miss. I mean, just the fact that my hero, someone I grew up idolizing, the reason I'm a wrestling fan, he is gone. So I will miss him. Comments?
Yeah, well said. That was a big one. I was in the office when somebody told me. She walked by a group of us and casually said, "Man, what a week. First Ozzy and now Hulk." And I said, "What?" She said, "Yeah, Hulk Hogan." It's like, "Oh my God." And then the rest of the day was the phone blowing up and all that. All those things you said, um, definitely a big part of my childhood. I think he is one of, if not the most impersonated person maybe ever. Right? He had a very larger than life appearance and existence and personality. So it was welcoming of impersonations, the way he looked, the way he talked, the way he moved. Maybe one of the first like major crossover talents, right?
Definitely.
Became big in one field and carried it over into another, wrestling, Hollywood. Um, you know, it's obviously there's some controversy in more recent years. Um, and that sucks, you know. Not everybody's good all the time. Um,
I'm glad I don't have a camera following me around everywhere I went for the last 50
yeah,
years.
that's it's tough. It's tough. I mean, I certainly don't approve of the racist stuff. So that's very bad. But everything else he gets criticized for is nonsense. You think that him being a selfish star is unique to him? Hello, that's the entirety of Hollywood. What do you think goes on there? That is normal, expected behavior. For me, it's just the racist stuff. It's like Michael Jackson, pretty great musical career. Sounds like he did some pretty terrible things too. I'm able to separate those things, I guess. It's on one hand, music is music, and that's all it is. Plenty of good memories out there for Hulk. I've been to the restaurant that he has in Clearwater. It's pretty cool. And it's sad. Sad that he's gone. He had business ventures that were in progress and probably won't turn out as good. So that's a shame too.
Right?
I don't know. If I had that much money and I was that old and that in that questionable health, I don't know if I'd be working.
Well, you've been working all your life. I mean, that's kind of you just keep your nose down, go to the grindstone like that. But for me, it's weird because when I got into wrestling was towards the end of his WWF run. So a lot of my memories as a kid was WCW, which he was a heel. It was Hollywood Hogan. He had the brief red and yellow, but wasn't the way they thought it would be. And so a lot of my childhood memories are Hollywood and the bad guy. And you know, I didn't grow up in the '80s with the say your prayers, need to take your vitamins, and it's interesting as a fan now to go back and see all that and just see the larger than life persona that he was. And Matt kind of touched on a little bit of he really transcended wrestling and became the entertainment. A lot of people always, was did WWE make Hulk Hogan or did Hulk Hogan make the WWE? And everybody has their argument on it and that, but I don't think one would have succeeded without the other. I think you needed both, and Hulk Hogan was that personality. Hulk Hogan was that person to make it happen. The guy that you saw in the WWE, like that character was perfect for what they needed. He was that perfect character. And it makes me laugh now knowing that Vince's father named him Hulk Hogan to give him an Irish name so that he could represent the Irish people. But yeah, he is, when you think of pro wrestling, you think of Hulk Hogan. Like that's when you talk about even today, you could say, hey, the WWE nine, I'll honestly say probably 8 out of 10 people will say, oh, Hulk Hogan, because that's what they know. So, it's one of those that hits when it, because, it's like you don't, I think one of the shows that we listen to said it best, your favorite cartoon characters, they don't, your favorite superheroes, they don't die. They keep going. In pro wrestling, they have that end. And to see someone that has been the fixture for all of our lives gone, it's jarring and it's still one of those things that still hits home. So, RIP to Hulk Hogan, and he will be missed.
Yeah. R.I.P. All right. Let's move on. So let's talk about hatching. So what are we watching, guys? Bryant?
I am watching season 17 of American Ninja Warrior. Now, see, I figured I know what you two would be talking about on the show today, so I wanted to pick something different. We're on season 17 of American Ninja Warrior. It is I'm not going to call it CrossFit, but it is an endurance competition. It is about, strength and speed and all these different obstacles and overcoming things. And, you're trying to climb this warped wall to win the competitions. And each each obstacle is different. And when I first started watching it, you have it, where if the people fall, they fall into water, which always made me laugh. But now seeing the competitions and seeing everything that's going on, it's always one of those shows that, like, I'm not in shape. I will own that. But I watch it sometimes and I go, I could do that. Could I? Probably not. But like you have all these competitions where like you're going, it's a lot of upper body strength. Rock climbers are always known as the people who can do well in these events, which they do. But the thing that always impressed me was, we're in season 17 now, and in 17 seasons, there's still only been 3 people who have completed the entire course, and I still find that amazing. So it shows how hard it is, the competition side of it. But season 17, American Ninja Warrior, it's a fun show.
I've never watched any of it.
I've seen clips, of course.
Yeah.
It's funny that you mentioned that because just recently my son has been watching American Ninja Warrior Junior,
Yep.
their seasons on Peacock, and there was one episode that had on The Miz
Mhm.
and Sasha Banks and Eva Marie.
Yeah.
And I looked it up, and it was several years ago.
Oh yeah. And the thing is, like, they had a age limit on it for so long, and then the last few years they've actually taken the age limit off because of the junior competition. Because a lot of kids would go to these Ninja Warrior gyms and start training from 6 years old. So by the time they met the age limit of 18, they'd already been training for 10, 12 years before they finally got on the show. And they realized, oh, we can actually just include them now and have them compete. So it is truly for anyone, any age. It's a fun competition. So fun show.
The training that these people do, I mean, they're psychotic.
Yes.
I mean, they build their own courses. They do it all day, every day.
One of the events is called the Ultimate Cliffhanger, and it's literally you're just using your fingertips to climb across a wall. And it's
Yeah.
a 20-foot wall, and you're just using your fingertips. And it's just insane.
You okay with there, Brad?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Over to you, Brad.
All right, so I'm not going to talk about what you thought I was going to talk about, Bryant. I am in season 2 with my wife of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives on Hulu. So this is these women was called Mom Talk on TikTok. They do these videos together, and they made a lot of money doing it. So now they have pushed that into a show, which is nonstop drama. Now remember, they're not allowed to drink, and they're supposed to be following all these rules.
This is
but
a this is a reality show.
yes.
Okay.
There is a lot of cursing going on, and no matter what the situation is, someone stirs a pot on something. So yeah, we're watching The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. All gorgeous knockouts, by the way, every one of them, and they're all rich now because of this mom talk that's on TikTok. I suggest maybe you both check it out.
Did not see this coming. I'll be honest.
I don't know if I will.
I
bet you
will.
the Sues will love it.
Sue will love it. Yeah, I was just about to say Sue will love that. Yeah.
You know, I got a good Sue because she does not watch reality garbage TV. I think a lot of women do, and she's not one of them.
Will she sit there and watch wrestling with you?
She's not going to put it on by herself, but if I have it on, she's got no problem half paying attention to it.
Yeah, I have a Sue like that as well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She's
Same.
she's not anti. She knows who everybody is. I'll tell you what, she'll stare at the screen if Cody or Randy Orton or Roman are on the screen.
Yeah.
All eyes.
Yeah,
I
there's a
get
couple
that.
fan favorites over here as well. All right. Well, I mean, I listen, it's something I would have again watched on my own, but something entertaining to watch with my wife, no problem. So how about you there, Matt?
So remember, this is what we're watching. It's not necessarily like has to be an A plus, right?
I think we've established
Yeah,
that just
yeah.
So there is a series in progress on Apple TV Plus called Smoke, and it is about an arson investigator. It's a drama series. I think it's about halfway through the first season. You guys heard of it?
No.
No.
So the male lead is Taron Egerton. If you don't know the name, he played Elton John in the in that movie, the biography. And he was also in another Apple show called Blackbird, which was pretty good. And then the female lead, her name is Journey Smollett. Maybe you don't know that name, but you might recognize her face. She did some things when she was younger, including she was on the Friday Night Lights TV show. She's kind of like, she's like a woman now, where she was like a teenager then. So it follows Taron Egerton is the arson investigator, and there's two arsonists running rampant in the city, two different cases, and it's getting out of control. So they assign the Journey Smollett character, who's a police officer, detective, to help him out. So there's a little bit of oil and water there, and they're investigating these two different arson cases. It is not the best show because it can be corny and it can be unrealistic and there can be a lot of eye roll moments. But there's like also 50% of it's like super interesting because I think the fire investigation is pretty interesting. And as I always say, I love a good case.
Yes, you do.
I love a good case. So,
Did you like the show?
I'll finish it up. So sorry.
Did you like the show Cold Case?
No, I never watched Cold Case. That's
I guess
more
you
of
were a
like
little young.
that was more of a procedural drama, right?
Well, there were cold cases they would try to find a way to solve,
Yeah.
and they would
But it
solve that.
wasn't but it was each episode was its own contained story.
Like, true.
Right. So that's a procedural.
Like a Law and Order, right?
Like a Law and Order. Yeah.
All right. Sorry to interrupt you there. I just was just curious.
No,
You always
no,
say
it's fine.
case, and I always think a cold case.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
So I'm gonna ask this question real quick here, because I feel like every time we talk TV shows, you always mention Apple TV. Do you watch other
Yeah.
TV? Do you watch
Big
any
Apple
other
TV guy.
streaming or like anything else like that, or is it
I
just
gotta say,
Apple TV only?
I have to say, they've got great shows. I mean, Ted Lasso, the one with Vince Vaughn from last year, Bad Monkey, I think it was called. That was great, like really great. Blackbird was great. I'm gonna struggle off the top of my head here, but I would say there's like, oh, what about Shrinking? That's on
Drinking-
Apple TV.
Morning show is pretty good. I
Morning
mean,
Show. I mean, these are very, very, very good shows.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Yeah,
not like, it's not like that's the only thing I watch.
they pay up for these actors too.
True.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, Matt, it's omelet time, buddy.
All right.
Been waiting for
So-
this, man. We've been hearing about this for a month.
As has happened before, don't hype it up like that. This
Oh, it's a big guys. Fasten your seatbelts. Matt M is the omelet.
could be a huge dud. So first of all, I want to say one of my monitors went out, so my lighting is different. My eyes are in a different spot, and I have to shimmy between what I wrote and the Zoom. Sorry about that. So we're doing favorite famous quotes or sayings or expressions. And again, this is not things that you necessarily say, like you're repeating a line from Happy Gilmore. But it's sort of like words to live by or inspirational messages. And you know what, guys? This is probably going to be corny. But you know what? Hogan was pretty corny. So maybe we can, this is just a little extra little cherry on top of honoring him with saying prayers and eating vitamins and that whole stuff. So I'll share a couple of mine. All right. And again, we'll see how this goes. And also, a lot of these are pretty similar. They have the same sort of message here. So I really like this expression, and it is literally an ancient Chinese proverb. Ready? The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, and the second best time is today. Love that expression, right? You're always better off if you're ahead of the game, but there's no time like the present, right? That's an attached saying there. Yeah, it's never too late. I really like that one. This is very similar too. And, I don't know if people off the top of their head know where it came from, but Google told me that it's from the 1600s and it's attributed to a poet named George Herbert. When there's a will, there's a way. And this is something that I have been living by a lot in the last few years. because, you know, adulthood can be challenging. Work is challenging. Parenthood is challenging. There's this, there's that. Maybe you're dealing with your own parents. There's constant child sports and stuff going on. There's an event you want to go to. The weather's not going to work out. The flight's not going to work out. Well, God damn it, when there's a will, there's a way. You know, you figure it out. Maybe you
Figure it
make a
out.
sacrifice here, but you figure it out. And very similar, attributed to Robert Frost, the way out is through. Or something like, you know, the way if you're stuck in hell, you know, the only way out is to keep going, right? That concept. And if you remember, months ago, I told the story about how I slid down my staircase and I got my foot stuck in the door. It was literally like I was struggling, I was stuck, I was in pain, and the only way out was to keep make the situation worse so I could set myself free, you know? And that's what I had to do. Being dramatic because it wasn't like a life or
When your
death.
back's against the wall, man, you do what you got to do.
Backs against the
Sure.
wall. Yeah.
Same thing. I mean, I just meant I didn't mean to use a. I didn't mean to use a quote.
You want to do you want to rotate here and you guys do some because I have a few more, but we can rotate.
You want to go first, Bryant?
Yeah, I'll throw out a few here. So one of the quotes that I always kind of go by, weirdly enough, I always thought Brett said it because I saw it on a DVD and then I realized no, he just took it. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I always thought that was, a good quote to go by. Nothing really. You can always overcome. You can always get better. You can always be a better person, and nothing can slow.
That's a great one, and
Yeah.
matches up to a lot of the things that I said already. Too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it kind of along the same lines as that there. So, and then I'll do one more, and I'll pass it over to Brad here. But I always kind of think of one I've got here is from Wayne Gretzky. Kind of goes with the selling mindset a little bit. You miss 100% of the shots that you never take. And in sales world, Brad will know this as well. You always got to go for it. You just can't hesitate. You can't think of the negative walking into it. You can't take the no that you haven't got to yet. You got to go in and just take your shot, go for it. And even if you hear no, you still work to it. You still keep going. And you always try to overcome it. See how you can make that work. What can we do to help you? And that's one that we always use kind of in our business.
So I had that written down as well. And of course, our good friend Mike Bober mentioned it to us as well. And I think the most important thing that you have to understand when you read that quote is if you don't do it, it's definitely no.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get a no anyway, you're in no worse position than when you started. But at least now you know. If you don't ask, it's no. If you don't find out, it's no. It's always no if you don't try.
Absolutely.
It's definitely a good one. My brain has always associated that with Wayne Gretzky, but is he really where that came from? Do we know?
It's either him or it's Steve Carell from The Office.
Yes.
It is definitely him from what I understand. He was just on his New Heights Kelsey show, and they asked him the way I just said it too, and he goes, he can have it if he wants it. He was really funny about it. It is his quote as far as I know.
You got more?
You have one more, Brian, or
no? Go ahead, Brad.
Okay.
I'll let you jump in here.
So I have one here. This is not going to go down in any literary magazine or anything. This comes from not from me, but I say it a lot. There is an ass for every seat. Now, I try not to be. Hear me out. I try not to be an insulting person. Okay. I find good in everyone. I do, and just like me mentioning the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. It may seem ridiculous to most of us, but there are people watching it. You may be a woman you find extremely unattractive, but someone finds her attractive. There is an ass for every seat. There is someone for everyone. There is something for everything we do out there. There is someone for it. So, as silly as it sounds, it's true.
Yeah, I mean, it's silly. The expression is silly. The meaning behind it is not as silly. No, I get it. I mean, you go out in the world. I mean, I'm sure we've all been in an environment that we're not used to, but clearly everybody else there, it matters a lot to them. It could be no different than you know somebody who doesn't know anything about wrestling, and then they're with one of us at a wrestling show, and there's all these diehards around. I've been on the other end of that where I'm like, why are all these people interested in model trains or whatever the hell it is?
Or in Shenyang. Like, I mean, really.
Yeah,
Like, it's just there's something for everyone. And
yeah.
speaking of that, getting to someone, I was an English major in college. I graduated an English major, and this is a very famous quote from William Shakespeare: "All the world's a stage, and all the men and women are merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts." And that can be applied to anything in your life, at anything in your life. All the world is a stage. There is no doubt about it. I know that is very cliche for me to say this one, but I mean, it's true. And I do have one Hulk Hogan. I have three Hulk Hogan ones here, but I don't know if you want to. I just wanted to say, when you're NWO for life, which I think is up there with all of them.
Hey, this is how you live your. Inspires you when you're
Yeah.
trying to take a sale.
I could do Scott Hall and say hard work pays off, dreams come true, bad times don't last, but bad guys do.
You could.
That's a good one.
All right, I have a few more. I'll finish mine up. I think it's going okay. Um, so this is from the movie Bull Durham, which was a baseball movie, and it's pretty corny and silly. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes it rains. And that, of course, can be attributed to a baseball game because rain usually puts a stop to play. And I think to me, it just means life can have its ups, its downs, and sometimes it's just paused or on hold, or it just didn't work out any way you thought it might, and I'll try again another day. So I like that one.
Definitely like that one.
This one I like. I have heard this in many different phrasings. I wrote down this one because apparently President FDR was attributed to saying this many years ago. A smooth sea never made a skilled sailor. I've also heard smooth seas never made a good captain or something. So at work, I'm a people manager and I manage other people managers who manage people below them. And when I'm trying to train them, when there's difficulties with, like human resource type challenges, I try to throw that expression at them because it's like you're not going to get better at being a manager if you don't have any problems to deal with. You got to learn how to figure out your way through issues. So I've always liked that quote.
Agreed.
And my last one for today was set by my friend Evan many years ago. And a lot of us, I think, continue to say it, and I think its meaning has expanded, and I really like it still. And I will tell you the origin. So the expression is athletes adjust. The origin of that is back in our college years, we would play a lot of beer pong. And sometimes you're really good at it, sometimes you're not. Sometimes you're outdoors, sometimes the table's a different size, sometimes the environment's different, sometimes the rules are different, the house rules are different. And whenever somebody would complain about that, Evan would say, hey, athletes adjust. Athletes adjust. So now I say that in any scenario in life where I find that to be fitting. And you know what? If you think about it throughout your life, it's going to end. There's going to be a moment in your life in the next month where you're going to think that and go, athletes adjust. So I really like that one. And that's fresh. No one's heard that one before except that inner group of friends.
I like it. I like that.
My wife told me that I had to say this one. I don't find this very inspirational. It actually makes me kind of shady. But considering I'm a car guy and this is the last day of the month tomorrow, as we record, better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
Yeah. That's a
He
good
said,
one. I like that
Yeah.
one.
he says I say that all the time, and I do. I make it a quick decision, and maybe one my boss or maybe one that the bank doesn't like, and I get forgiveness later.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, that's a good one. Brian, did you have any more?
Yeah, I had a couple more. One that I use kind of for training purpose when I train people, because everybody's always different, going in and in these new environments. So I always would tell people it's a quote that I say is "Be yourself. Everyone else is already taken." So it's more of that mindset of don't try to cater to how other people are selling. Don't follow how I'm selling. Be yourself. Sell to your strengths. Talk. Just be you. Don't be anybody else. Those stores will like you for you, not because you're trying to mimic me or somebody else. So it's kind of one of those deals of when you train with enough people, you kind of got to get them that comfortable. Um, and then the last one I'll mention is a saying that I love to tell Sue. When we first started dating, we would travel a lot, so we would stay in hotels, and there were certain hotels that we felt were like that higher echelon of the premier hotel. Or we'd go out to eat and there'd be these restaurants and they're the high end, high tier restaurants. So when we would travel, I'd always go, "Hey, let's go live high on the hog tonight." And and it's saying that when we started dating to now, as we're getting ready to go travel for hinterland, we still are talking about, are we going to go live high on the hog this weekend?
Not in
Why
that,
not?
not in
Why,
that tent.
why not? So high on the hog has always been one that it's kind of become part of our relationship, and one that we just kind of love saying back and forth to each other for that high end experience for
Hmm.
stuff. So
Very
Very
good.
good. Well, thank you guys. Thanks for indulging in that one. Maybe I was a little risky that one, but 'cause I didn't know how it would go. But I enjoyed it, and you know what? We had some participation from outside comments too. Thank you for that. This will be on YouTube, so you can add some more.
Yeah,
You
are we forgetting a comment out there? I know why we mentioned Bobers. Was there another one?
I think Devin might have had one.
You know what?
Devin, yeah, Devin had one. I thought.
All right, go. We'll continue, and I'll bring it up in a couple minutes.
Yeah.
For
So
now, oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
just I wanna say to my fellow eggs in the audience, we can do this one again in a few months because you're gonna come across more sayings and expressions that you remember. So keep keeping track. While Brad's looking up, I'll take a look at the outline here. And what's next is over easy. What's over with you? And look at that, Bryant's first.
Bryant is first. What's over? Who's over with me? And we're gonna make this one a little uncomfortable for someone in the room here. Who's over with me? That's Stephen Colbert. Stephen
Mm.
Colbert, the host of The Late Show on CBS, has been the host since 2015, taking over for the great David Letterman. And now I have always been a Colbert fan. I loved him on The Daily Show. I love The Colbert Report. So naturally, I went over and started watching The Late Show. I was always a Conan guy, but naturally, my guy moves to late night, gonna watch him. Those first few years, a little rough, but he finally found his groove, bringing that little bit of political stuff that he had on, the Colbert Report to this, was hitting his stride, doing great. Always loved the show. And then a couple weeks ago, announces that CBS has decided to cancel Colbert and cancel The Late Show in general. So a lot of people feel this is a political move, as he was also outspoken against the president. They had a deal going. Won't get into that, but I who's over with me is still Colbert. He's still doing great shows. He's turning this negative into a hilarious positive each week on the show now. He had a skit a few weeks ago where Lin Manuel Miranda and Weird Al came on to do a song, had a bunch of the late night hosts in the crowd, and then they did a fake the show. You got to cancel it kind of thing, and he's running with it, making fun of it. The next he's got till May of 2026, so 10 months left on the show. It's going to be a ton of fun, and Colbert, as always, is over with me.
No, that's good. Very good. I mean, trying to be number one in a world where number two is accepted. Colin Kaepernick, by the way, that is Devin. But
Yeah,
Right.
and
I'm
that
looking everywhere
fits with
like an
Colbert.
asshole for this thing. I'm freaking forgetting I'm even on a show for a minute. Matt's like, well, maybe we'll continue with the outline. And I'm going through freaking YouTube, and it was a text sent to us.
Yes, it was a text. Yeah,
All right.
yeah, and that works with Colbert because Colbert has been number one on late night for the last several years,
Yeah.
keeping everybody at bay. So works out perfect. Perfect tie-in, Brad.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, I mean, all this stuff, it's a year away. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's gonna
Johnny
be
Carson
interesting.
did something very similar, even though he was on his own. But
That's true.
anyway, I'll talk about my daughter Kendall. I don't know if I said her name, but they're turning 21. Was my sunny side up. My over easy this week, who's over with me, is my daughter Lotus, my youngest daughter. She's done an internship for the Bucks County Children's Museum, and I guess I didn't really realize what was going on all summer. You know what I mean? She goes to work, she comes home, but then she asked me if like I said, I was an English major in college. She asked me if I would proofread her 11-page paper about her internship. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I graduated from college quite a while ago, and I've been out of the English game for quite some time. I am not qualified. Okay. But you know what? We're not going to let her know that. All right. So I read it. And what I was more than anything, she wrote the paper beautifully, really didn't need anything. But how impressed I was of everything she did. And one of the things that really stood out to me the most is, she was dealing with kids that were between 1 and 7 years old. And in a world of technology, in a world where everybody's looking at their phones, she was bringing them something different and letting them be silly without the technology, which is really nice in a museum setting. So really proud of her, proud of what she did all summer. And she's over with me this week. Matt?
Very good. I love to hear that. This has been the positivity episode, right? Hogan and all of our expressions and words to live by. Good for her. You know what's over with me this week? I really enjoyed Happy Gilmore too. I mean, I laughed for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, it's silly and ridiculous. It's stupid, but all I have one requirement of comedies. I just want to laugh. I don't care how smart it is. I don't care how stupid it is. I don't care how corny it is. I don't care if there's cameos or there's no cameos or there's references to the first movie, blah, 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 or what the outside world wants to criticize 30 years later. Don't give a damn. I laughed and I giggled. We both did, me and Sue. And, numerous times we said to each other, like, this is hilarious. So big time over with me. How hard is that so many years later to come back and have a winning sequel to a movie that is beloved, treasured from the 90s? We've done episodes about this, and most of them are misses, most of them are failures. Huge thumbs up over with me.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it as well. Yeah, like again, it's not winning Academy Awards, but guess what? Neither was the first one, if you guys
What?
remember.
Yeah,
It
no.
wasn't. It wasn't. I love that his whole family was in it. I loved all the
Yeah.
cameos. I listen, there was a couple twists I was surprised about, but overall,
And there were stupid scenes too.
there was
Yes.
stupid scenes in the first one.
Yeah.
There's unrealistic things happening in these movies.
Oh
That's
man, I
just the way
laughed.
it is.
I laughed a lot.
I enjoyed it. And it got better as like the more I was watching, the more I kept enjoying it more and more and more.
I knew within the first 10 minutes that it was going to be good because it had a very good and plausible premise. And I was like, oh, okay, we're just going to go with this. You knew right away. And we try to be spoiler free here, right, guys? It's
Yeah.
still pretty new. But you knew right away there's something happened that indicated I know where the character is going to have to go.
Yeah,
So it wasn't just like a stupid mess. It was funny.
that was funny. Would you watch it, Bryant?
Yeah, I did. It was fantastic. I was with Matt laughing constantly, and I, I was a little surprised at the beginning with the twist at the beginning, but
Yeah.
again, you had to have that overcome for the movie, and
Yeah.
no, I loved it. It was
Made
great.
perfect sense.
Yeah.
Made perfect sense.
No, very good. No, enjoyed. Great job, guys. Over easy. So, which brings us to raw eggs, Bryant, which is anything you freaking want.
Ooh.
Well, I will be truthful. I paid somewhat attention to the outline. I didn't realize expired eggs was on here because I figured we were going to have a Hulk Hogan topic. I kind of figured everyone would have one. So I wanted to make raw eggs a little different and talk to you guys about, did you know how many things, movie-wise or television shows, Hulk Hogan was actually in?
You could probably name a couple. And by the
Yeah.
way, raw eggs, so you could do whatever
Yeah,
you want.
really,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
qualifies.
Exactly. That's say this perfectly qualifies. But we obviously have the first role of Hulk Hogan's entire career is Rocky 3. We all know Thunder
Sure.
Lips.
Thunder Lips.
But did you know the second role he ever stars in is called Goldie and the Bears? It follows the death of a former football player turned private investigator. And these group of people take up the cause for this former player and turn into private investigators. Stars Hulk Hogan. Never heard of it. Never knew.
Never heard of it.
Exactly. No one knows. But it just is on the list of random things. He was on an episode of The Love Boat. We all love The Love Boat. 2 episodes of the A-Team. Obviously, teams with Mr. T. He's got to be on the A-Team. We have, obviously the star making huge billion-dollar premiere of No Holds Barred, which is the movie that just makes him famous. I mean, he's got wrestling, but No Holds Barred, that's where it's at. Then obviously Brad mentioned Gremlins 2. Great appearance in Gremlins 2. I mean, I've been reposting that clip everywhere on social media this week because I love it so much.
I love it too.
You also have The Great Suburban Commando with Christopher Lloyd. I love that movie as a kid. It was one of my favorites. I also loved Mr. Nanny. I will own that. I loved Mr. Nanny. He was fantastic in that. We have Thunder in Paradise, the television show, and the 3 movies. There are 3 separate movies aside from the television show Thunder in Paradise.
Who needs the Marine?
These have to be made for TV movies.
They are made for TV movies, yeah, but they are separate from the television show Thunder in Paradise.
Move over, Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah, because that was the thing that got me as I was making this list. I was like, Thunder in Paradise 2. And I'm like, no, there's a television show. Then you find it and realize, no. They branched off the show to make 3 separate movies. So
Santa Buddies. Yeah, go.
Yeah, I mean, why not? So you have a movie called Spy Hard, starring Leslie Nielsen, which I didn't realize he was in until I was looking this up. You also have Assault on Devil's Island, where he is a agent going into as an assassin trying to hunt down a mastermind. I'm going to call it mastermind. That's what they say in the premise of the show. You have Santa with Muscles. Who can forget that iconic role? You've got, obviously, a movie near and dear to my heart, 3 Ninjas, High Noon at Mega Mountain. I mean, that movie's fantastic. You have The Ultimate Weapon, where he is brought in as the killer elite by the rogue bad guys. We also have Assault on Death Mountain, different than Devil's Island. It's now a mountain. Major difference. We've got 2 episodes of Suddenly Susan. I didn't know that until I looked this up. We've also got 1 episode of the most amazing television show ever made, Walker, Texas Ranger. I could probably do a whole segment on Chuck Norris jokes, but I will save us the time here. We also have the classic, to me, because I love them so much, Muppets from Space. He plays Man in Black.
Great name.
Which is also full NWO gear when he comes out, which is what makes me as the kid love it even more. We've got Little Hercules, where he plays Zeus. Yeah, we'll just stop it there. He also is in the cult classic Romeo and Juliet.
Ah,
for everyone there. He is also not only in the show, but also a producer on the show China, Illinois, which is an Adult Swim television program where he plays the dean. And then the last movie credit I could find for him is World War Z. So zombie movie. So a lot of variety. Obviously, he's, I don't want to say typecast into the, bad guy, military kind of hunting, kind of that, call to action guy. But a lot of those movies, obviously. But as I looked into this list, like I said, some of these movies obviously straight to DVDs. Let's be realistic here on some of this. But to see some of these other shows, it's like kind of interesting to see how he tried to break out of the movie, out of the wrestling genre into movies. Always just kind of something a little interesting. So there's your movie list. Go enjoy some movies tonight with
I'm
Hulk Hogan.
surprised he wasn't in the Expendables.
Me as well.
He should
Actually,
have been in that.
because that's a Sylvester Stallone flick where he actually picked everybody, and him and Stallone are friends, so you would think
Yeah.
so. But
Like just some bit part. Who cares,
yeah,
right?
just something. Yeah, even make a cameo. That would have been perfect for that. But yeah,
Yeah.
no, not even in that.
I'm a little
So,
mad it didn't happen.
You know what I heard about that? That didn't work for him, brother.
Hmm.
there it is. Stroke
Yeah.
that Fu Manchu.
Well, thank you, Bryant. That was excellent.
I have seen so few of those movies.
Yeah.
Have you seen Suburban Commando at least? Please.
You know what? I have seen that one, and I have seen, of course, No Holds Barred.
Of course.
I never
Mr.
saw.
Nanny?
I never
Not
saw
Mr.
one.
Nanny?
I never saw one frame of Thunder in Paradise.
How? How
Yeah,
did you not?
I don't even know what it is. I mean, I knew. Oh, I know.
Oh. Thunder in
Was that-
Paradise is the worst television show ever, but you had to watch it because it was with Terry Hulk Hogan.
Thunder in Paradise. It's just like people on vacation, and there was always bad weather. Is that what it was?
I mean, you would think so, but no.
Wah,
There's,
wah, wah.
there's always so much going on at this beach.
As B as these movies may be, they're all better than Grown Ups or Grown Ups 2. Just keep
There it is.
The streak is
There
alive.
it is. We continue the streak.
All right, Brian. I think we've done enough today. Why don't you hit us with the socials?
Well, thank you, everybody. We are 3 Eggs Are Better Than One, cooking up every Monday morning at 6:30 a.m. Eastern on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere else you get your podcasts. Find us on YouTube at 3 Eggs Are Better Than One. The number 3, the letter R, the number 1. Follow us on X, Blue Sky, Instagram, and TikTok, although I think we've probably given up on Blue Sky. At 3 Eggs Are Better. The number 3, the letter R, and our individual accounts at YesManBrad, at B Haremza, and I am at Purple Shirt Guy without the I. How about some 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts? Join us with your comments on YouTube. And who has next week? It looks like Brad.
So I've been working on this for a little bit, and there are some times when I watch something I've watched many, many times, and I'm bothered. Like TV shows that are bothering me. Why are they bothering me? Because the couple that you wanted to get together in it just didn't work out. And I would like to give this homework assignment to my fellow eggs. Who did you see? Who did you want to get together? And it just didn't happen. Did the network blow it? Did a TV show blow it? Did they have a bigger plan? Did they really have to get back with their ex? Next week, TV couples that didn't make it. Brian, take us home.
We thank you guys for joining us this week. This has been a fun trip for us, talking about, our what's going on in our lives, talking about Hulk Hogan a little bit. And I guess the perfect way to end this is, I can't do the voice, but I'll say it. What you gonna do when Hulkamania runs wild on you? The egg timer's been set. See you guys next week.